Ask and you shall grow.
Hi, welcome to Ask and You Shall Grow. We're on episode 8 today, and it's all about hypnotherapy again, but we're going to talk a little bit more about what exactly happens in a session and talk a little further on the topic. So I'm here again with Anastasia, who is a hypnotherapist and also a relationship coach. But today we're going to focus on the topic we mentioned. So, first things first, welcome back.
Thank you.
And let's talk a bit about what exactly do people come to you with, actually? What kind of problems do you help them with? What's the most common things? I imagine phobias or fears, but what else? What do people come to you to solve, really?
I mean, it can be literally anything. And I don't remember if we discussed it previously. People with the diagnosed mental illnesses or on medication, on like psychiatric medication, they should not use hypnotherapy as a treatment. But otherwise, and of course, also like physical pain. First, you need to go to the doctor and make sure that, in case they don't have any explanation, then hypnotherapy is your tool to resolve this problem. But otherwise, any kind of issues you're experiencing in your life and you want to change that are connected to yourself, and because also a relationship, but it's also something that connects to yourself. You can fix, or like hypnotherapy will be the tool to help you to solve this problem. But otherwise, yes, as you told, like anxiety or like negative beliefs, you can reprogram, your like different negative patterns that you have. As I told, some physical pain that is not explainable by doctors.
So really it's more about the self and the whole beliefs, ideas, or things that are getting in somebody's own way, if they feel that.
You mean like what kind of?
What the kind of things that people come to?
Yes, usually, yeah, this belief it can be relationship. It can be like, for example, as you told, fears. If you're afraid to speak in front of the audience, it's also like that's something, because for example, that you will just be in front of the audience and you know that your fear will be there right away, for example.
Right.
And it's just because you know. And again, in order to change this this idea, you need to go to subconscious and to change, to reprogram this feeling or this view of the situation. That's how it would work. And yeah, that could be different, any kind of the problems people come to. There is no like, okay, people usually come with this or this. No, that people come with very, very different issues. They can come, for example, okay, I need to lose 2 kilos. That's my problem, and I cannot lose the kilos. And it's really important for them, for example. And then you dig deeper, and they say, yeah, I was always, when I was a kid, or like when I was like teenager, I always like weighted this amount of, and now I cannot lose this amount. And then I'm like, okay, it sounds like something is behind. And then you start digging deeper, and you find that there's something the person actually needs to work on. So that's why they can come to you with one thing, but in the end, they will acknowledge later that the roots are absolutely different.
That's so interesting. Okay, so on this topic, I'd like us to go a little bit more into actually what kind of therapy sessions, what they involve, and how many do you even need? Obviously, that varies, as you just explained. People come for so many different things. So I'm curious what exactly that looks like. Doesn't have to be hugely detailed. And then we can also talk a little bit about that. What happens after, actually. So first, let's discuss what you do in that session, or the sessions.
Yeah, in general, as you say, it can be one session, it can be 4 sessions. Usually, if it doesn't work or if it doesn't give you any results after 4 sessions, then try something else.
Yeah, makes sense.
And in my case, yeah, it's always works within few sessions. People feeling huge difference is also what inspires me to continue doing that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because like before I got to know what's hypnotherapy, my idea of that, or my perception, was completely different when I realized how it works. And there's nothing magical, right, about this. It's like you really know how it works, and it's like really easy. In order to get there, you just relax yourself. So that's how sessions, like the main idea is like to relax your body.
Get in a relaxed state.
Yeah, you relax your body, relax your mind. You're like relaxing your body part by part. Same about the self hypnosis. It's like meditation, self meditation, or like guided meditation. Same, there is hypnotherapy, like a self hypnosis option, and also the guided hypnosis with someone else that's who can guide you into that. But the main idea is always to relax your body, like part by part, starting from the top of your head, like, and finishing with the tips of your toes. So you're relaxing completely, you're relaxing your mind, and then when you're in this relaxed state, basically the magic is happening. But it's not magic, it's just so you're open for good suggestions from your side if you want to self-hypnotize yourself, or from the side of the guide that is, yeah, that you're trusting.
So when we did a session, because I had a session with you, of course, you did first the relaxation, and then we agreed on something, which what you explained before in the last episode for those who did not tune in. You explained that the subconscious has to agree with what you're doing. So if you say, for example, go bring me €1,000, and I go, no, I'm not going to do it, right? So obviously, you can only really help the person with what they want. So at the beginning, I remember that we talked a lot about my past, etc., what I wanted to deal with. And then we immediately went into, before you started, you said, do you agree with this, that we are doing this? You're giving me the permission. So I needed to give you permission, and you had to have the goal clearly of what you wanted to achieve with me, right? And then you go into the session of reprogramming those moments that within your own memory.
Yes, correct. Yes.
To reprogram them to something different, whatever change you're trying to create, of course, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we were discussing last time, that usually this kind of introduction part, like examination, like I'm introducing myself, I'm telling what I'm doing, because like the main goal, the main idea, especially when the people are coming first time and experience hypnosis first time, they need to understand what hypnosis is, even though they could check what it is, or like hear, like you heard from your friend how she experienced the hypnosis. That's how you learned about hypnosis. So you already had like a little bit of idea what it is. But then it's very important for me as a hypnotherapist to explain you how it works, so you don't have any, wrong, like, so we remove this wrong perception of hypnosis, and you're becoming more relaxed, and we build this trustful relationship. And of course, for me, it's important to know, yeah, what are you, why, like, what's the reason you came to try the hypnosis, and also, yeah, just to understand more about your life. And the more I know, that's why it can take 2 and more hours, the better it is. Because then, when we are, as we call it, traveling in time, um, but again, it's like, don't think we're traveling, right? Like, you can later tell a bit how you experience that. It's not about traveling in time. It's about, like, when you're, for example, I tell you, like, remember you were, I don't know, 14 years old, and you were in school with your friend, and you were playing, like, and you start to thinking of that, right?
Yeah.
And you starting to recall that moment. It doesn't mean you're actually traveling in time, but it means you're traveling in your memories.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening in during the hypnosis. And for example, when we're dreaming, we can also daydream. That's means, like, when we're thinking about something, we're thinking about past, or like, or we're thinking about future, how we would like to have it done, something, or like, if we're dreaming like at nights, we also have those thoughts coming to us, and it doesn't mean it's like something strange happening. It's just our mind is like bringing up the thoughts that bothering you, or like, yeah, this kind of thing. So that's why in hypnosis you kind of also traveling in your memory to the parts of your mind, of your memories that you want to revisit and reprogram. So, yeah, you're just relaxing yourself after our introduction, you're relaxing yourself. And then we just, yeah, if we want to fix something, or like reprogram something, we just bring up the emotion that's connected to that moment that you want to go back to. Because emotion, that what brings the subconscious on top. As we were discussing when we were watching TV,
Yes.
we can easily cry and laugh. And why? Because, like, we're very much focused on something, and the emotions are coming up, and that makes us feel like we are part of that movie.
Yeah.
Again, no magic is happening. It's just how our brain works and how our body works.
It's really powerful, actually, because for me, with the hypnotherapy session I had, I felt like afterwards, like so in my specific case, because everyone's got their own experience and you do different things to different people, I felt that I went back and gave myself what I needed in moments that I didn't have it. So let's say that I was upset about something, then I would go and give myself soothing or whatever. So I felt like I healed that part in the past. So then the way you show up in the future is different, and you don't. We almost like recalibrate part of yourself.
Yeah, like if we have some holes, we'll just put a bit of love, a bit of attention.
Exactly. That's actually,
And
that's how it feels. And it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that you needed something that you didn't get in my case, and then you give it to yourself. Then so then I feel differently now, in the present, because of having gone back mentally to those spaces.
if I may ask you, like having this hypnotic experience, like what would be the things, like important things, probably that you would like to hear before you receive the hypnotherapy that was stopping you from having it? Is there something you would like to share with people so they'll actually like know something important about that?
Well, I think the
Or
biggest
probably even the results of it, or like
right. I think the biggest change, the moment I realized this is the key, is when I was ready to confront myself. So I think until you're ready to confront yourself, I don't mean that you blame yourself, because I want to emphasize that. It's not that you are fixing yourself because you're wrong and there's something wrong with you. You're messed up. No, it's that there are things that happened that made you not feel great for whatever that was. It could have been, not always. The thing is, we blame, right? But that's not about that. It's about what did I need that I didn't get in that moment. And actually, a lot of the time we blame the world. We're like, oh, this person did that to me, that person did that to me, this person didn't do this. But you're still carrying the weight of what happened. So that doesn't go away then. Whereas when you're like, okay, I'm going to confront myself, whether it's therapy and hypnotherapy, or I did EMDR treatment as well, that worked a lot. That's when I confronted myself. I was like, okay, what is getting in my way? What experiences or things happen that I feel aren't letting me live the life I want? And that was a really hard step. That was the hardest. After that, I'm like, oh, that's it? That's what I have to do? I mean, it's hard, but I can do it now because I've done it once. And then it's easier to then go, okay, I'm going to go to hypnotherapy and confront myself again. Because then you've done it before, and it's actually makes things better afterwards.
So it's already known than unknown. So you already know how it works, and you know that you can deal with it.
I know that I can take it, and actually my life gets better. I feel better. So I'm like, actually, that confrontation was the key.
Did you feel the result right after the session, or how was it for you?
Oh, that's a really good question. So in my case, because we had a really deep session, right? It went really deep for me. That meant that I took weeks to recover. I think I took like about 6 weeks.
What do you mean by recover?
And what I mean by recover is recalibrate. So I think the way I was dealing with the world had not been working for me, and I started to react to the world differently. And that meant that I was like, okay, who am I? Because it wasn't the old self anymore. It was like a new version of me. And that had to like settle. It's a bit like an earthquake happened and the building has all shook and half of the building fell off. So I need to reconstruct the building. It felt a bit like that. Yeah.
Was it uncomfortable in the
Yeah, I
beginning?
think so. Yeah. So in my case, because I can be quite sensitive. Not that I'm like crying every day all the time or something. It's more I'm sensitive to others' energy. No, I actually that doesn't happen all the time. But I mean, I am sensitive, so I do feel other people's feelings and what they're going through. And before that was harder for me to deal with. But because I've done work now, like I'm okay. But this specific therapy meant that my sensitivity would heighten more than normal. So I was like overwhelmed very easily, which I wasn't used to. I was like, what's happening? Why am I so overwhelmed?
And what about now?
Now I'm okay, but it took me about 6 weeks to not feel overwhelmed.
So now you back to how you were before the therapy?
I'm a new version.
Okay.
Because you don't go back, because you've given yourself what you needed.
You go back.
Like maybe to the original core human
Yeah.
who you are, but not to the past version of you.
Not like, traumatized.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. But the core person, definitely, you go back to who you truly are at the core. But it's a rediscovery because you've taken off the layers of things that that weren't serving you, maybe in my case. So I think it's really interesting because I wanted to ask you a bit about when it's like a deep session like mine. I realized that it's a bit like, when you have a net and you pull one string out and the whole net falls apart. I feel like I went to such a core belief or thing that my whole life transformed. It wasn't one thing. So like, why is it that it works like that for people? Why does it do so much in not one area, but many areas?
I mean, it's like how you called. I'm trying to translate it into English right now. The core of the building. How you call it? The core,
foundation.
the foundation. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. So if something was wrong there, like the whole building was a bit wobbly and turned to a different side. And as soon as you like put it all in the right position in the right way, it's like all the pieces they went in the right positions. So it's very individual again.
Right.
Like again, if someone comes, they want to quit smoking. It could be just quit smoking, but it could be probably the person started smoking because he felt lonely, and then he wanted to be a part of something big, of some community, and he started smoking. And then, and if he stops smoking, probably now he's already not like, not struggling with being alone. Probably he doesn't even need this community. Probably he's just sitting there in the corner smoking on his own. So, but when you change something, the perspective how you see your life also changes. Like, yeah, probably smoking is not the best. Like again, it's very individual. But like if you change something that is core for you, that is make your like fundament.
Your identity of who you are to some degree.
It's like it's changed. Like if people are afraid to speak in front of the audience, it's about their confidence. And if they fix this confidence, they start here, or probably they started even fixing that in the very beginning of their life. And then, of course, it affects the way how they speak in front of the audience or the way they communicate in general with people. It's like as soon as you feel comfortable, as soon as you feel the way you should feel, like as soon there is nothing you want to change, the whole life starts changing. And again, we probably have so much dreams, but something holds us back. And as soon we fix like or our confidence or like our wrong beliefs or like wrong patterns, it affects the whole life. Because then you're also happy about the results. It affects the relationship. Also, like if people are coming with a relationship struggle, it's not about their partner, it's about themselves. And as soon as you fix yourself, then like everything else around stops giving you these lessons because you already fixed. Like it's a bad word to be fixed. You already the way you were in the very beginning. You're healed, and by healing yourself, by loving yourself in general, it's about transformation. And hypnotherapy is a great tool. And the transformation is about learning, how to heal yourself, how to love yourself, and while you're healing it and when you heal it yourself, you start healing also the world that's around you because you want to share this with the other people.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Like you doing by sharing this information with other people.
Thank you. It really was really powerful, and I found it really useful because indeed what you mentioned in the last episode was how effective it is. Because it's so effective, it goes right to the core of whatever it is that's holding you back, that it transforms at such a core level, if you really allow it to, that it's. And you have to be willing to be that uncomfortable, because it is very uncomfortable to confront those parts of yourself.
Yeah, that's why confronting or acknowledging the problem, it's like 70-80% of success.
Yeah.
Then it's the question of time. And yeah, you're willing to do that, to do something about it. So it's, as soon as like so many people, they think they're perfect and school is their pass, and if they are perfect, it's also good for them. But like, especially in the relationship, you see how many people are struggling in a relationship because the partner says that everything is fine with them. It's like it's more about you. And then the person starts healing herself or himself. And of course, I'm not belonging to this relationship, and they go further. But the other person, the partner who didn't acknowledge that there is something that he needs or she needs to work on, she or he will be always in the same spot until acknowledging, okay, that something needs to be like, I need to step in that, step out from our comfort zone and do something to heal.
Go more into this.
Yeah.
Because you also are a relationship coach, so that would be really interesting to discuss. I want to come back to this. Your Okay. Do you have any more interesting things to mention about what it goes like in the sessions and what things you've seen, how people have transformed, maybe as in the role that you're in?
I mean, I know that I need to follow up with this. For me, it's interesting, and I need always to follow up with the clients and ask them how did it go, how do they feel the days after, the weeks after, because usually, especially when the person comes back to their normal self, they forgetting that they were feeling not normal
Yeah.
in between. And they're like, yeah, I'm just good. I just this and this. And then you're asking, yeah, but what about this part? Oh, really? I forgot I had it. So that's why for me, it's important to follow up and also probably also remind the person how like good and successful the person is. And again, hypnotherapy, it's not about the therapist only. It's like the work of the both sides. So if the person is ready to be healed, and not by the hypnotherapist in general. So if he is open to change the way he's thinking or to change the way she's feeling, that's like that's the main goal or the main key of the successful result of the hypnotherapy. So yeah, I mean, and in general, what did I experience? They were like very different experiences, but as you told, you felt that the session with you was really deep, right?
It really was.
For me, sometimes, for me, the session could look really, really calm, like really like very basic in terms of not emotional or like I don't see that the person went deep. Sometimes, of course, there are signs when the person is deeply relaxed, and that helps me to understand and guide the person. But sometimes, in terms of emotion, I understood like in the very beginning, I was thinking like if there's not much emotions, then probably the person is not deep into the hypnosis, but it's wrong. After like very calm session, the person can wake up. That's how we call it. Of course, the person is not sleeping, but like you emerge the person from the hypnosis, and the person like, wow, I've never been so deep, like in terms of like in the feelings, in the memories, and people can feel the things they or like remember the things they thought they never remembered. Like
Yeah, that's actually what I experienced. I remember going to core memories. I didn't even
yeah,
actually consciously know. I didn't remember those things. I think two of my memories, I was like, these things happened? Oh, wow, I don't remember. Because
yeah.
I was a child. So like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't remember that. What? We did this? Okay.
And it was not like, okay, I never knew about that,
No,
right? It was like, okay,
I just didn't remember
so then you recalled it, and then you
in detail.
basically,
It's really interesting how detailed it is.
and then you realized that you remembered it once. So it's not like I'm just trying to explain, like,
Right.
was it something that you kind of invented the memory, or it was actually a memory?
No, it must have happened. I mean, logically.
Yeah.
So in my case, for example, I went to when I was on a flight coming back from Peru. Like I would, of course, I had a flight to go to from Peru because I've moved to England. So that happened.
Yeah.
I knew it happened. I just didn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
So like anyway, it's really interesting how where you go to in your mind.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much for explaining everything.
thank you very much.